change we've seen on the ground, as much as we continue to ensure that we knock doors here and there, there's no much of information, of response that is happening. We were getting reports that the anti-FGM board team were supposed to come and to the ground via meeting the county commissioner, but so
all right, we lost you, Vincent. Sorry, we understand that there are network issues on that end. I'd just like to remind everyone that you can keep tweeting by clicking or adding the tweet icon just below, and click tweet or whichever, create a message for yourself and share with people and tell them to join this conversation. We are live on Facebook as well as on YouTube and Twitter, but the conversation is going on here. So we're just broadcasting across different channels. So please keep inviting other people to joining us. Vincent does his best as well to be heard. Domtila, I see you, and we are also having lots of conversations around how to campaign at this time. And I just was wondering, how is the situation today in West Pokot? Domtila, if you can hear me. Are you back, Christine?
now audible enough because you cannot get Domtila.
All right, yeah, go on. I was just
yes, as I was saying, Jeremiah and
right.
The rest of the team, the rest of the people here, is that particularly this evening, what actually really needed to do, because we were asking ourselves, now we've gotten reports and we've been told that certain home, 2 girls, 1 girl is at risk of undergoing FGM tomorrow, with preparation being hinted to us from close family members and also the neighbors. So actually right now what we will want to see administration doing is especially working around the clock with the local administrators like assistant chief and chief. And I want to just put it here in black and white, Jeremiah. There's this particular village, there's this particular location that is Bugumbe West, whereby there's this one chief called Morris, whereby I think the issue around the cutting has been so rampant in his location, and I think he could be at the forefront to work with, especially the administration, him being one of the administration officer, to ensure that girls are rescued, or maybe the perpetrators are also arrested, and also to ensure to process these cases. But this is where by now we are even stuck, because now, especially as activists, as people on the ground, we are really, sometimes it comes at some point it comes whereby we also need to really look into the security, our own security, because now there like I said earlier, there are those girls who can voluntarily get out of their homes, and that can get out of their homes, maybe hide, and maybe we get them at a particular point and then take them to the rescue spaces. But this is a point whereby other girls are there waiting to be cut, and because they have to obey whoever they stay with at their various homes. So it's so difficult to coordinate this as activists, because maybe especially our role, there are some limitation, and also looking at our security. So I think this is something that the chief and the assistant chief could be coordinating and looking into and ensuring that all the processes are undertaken. So that is where we are, Jeremiah, right now. And we cannot say that there are much action that are being taken on the ground here. There's not much action. Our our phones are open. We are receiving calls left, right, and center. And as I hinted earlier, in the two major safe spaces or safe homes that we are having in Kuria East and in Kuria West, one being manned by Zinduka and the other one being manned by us, a combination of around 4 organizations and activists. That is Tunaweza Empowerment Safe Engage Foundation, the Kuria West Network, Guseso, and the rest of the team. And we're really glad that the children officer has been really on the forefront to ensure that we coordinate. And as we were speaking earlier, the children's officer for Mabera also hinted to us that she's also coordinating rescue of some girls. But the issue comes in when we go to the administration. Like Christine said, people are talking about fuel. People are talking about no support to do this sort of rescue or maybe operation. So that is where we are, and that is where we are stuck. And I want to echo, especially to this particular space, that this village called Nyamusese, it's very, very, very risky it's going to be worse tomorrow, and we really need to do whatever we can do to ensure that we rescue girls, or anything is done to ensure that the life of these girls who are not yet cut but at risk, and they are hinted to be cut tomorrow, so that they can be helped at any moment from now. Thank you. Back to you, Jeremiah.
You've mentioned that there are 2 centers that are running right now, and I think it would be nice to have representatives from those centers to just comment on what the situation looks like, how many girls are there so far, and what exactly are the plans with the girls in terms of security as well. And maybe you could speak to that as Christine joins as well as the Zinduka team. But how is the security situation for the girls? I heard this morning that probably the cutting might not happen today, which is a Sunday, but might then be worse tomorrow, as they normally don't cut on Sundays. Do you have any info on that?
Yes, thank you, Jeremiah. Particularly, I've been in the rescue home. Is only that I left some 2 hours earlier because it was really raining here, and also we had to also have some power in our phones, because wherever we are, powers look to be not there because of the issues to do with weather. So I must say that in terms of security of the girls, the institution that we have hosted the girls, the public institution, that is a particular boarding school that you cannot mention the name, that is in Kuria West. I want to say that in terms of provision with the security, because since now today was on a Sunday, and there is no match, no even in as cutting is happening, or FGM on Sundays, there's nothing that normally happen. So we fear for tomorrow, because until right now we've not yet gotten security at the premises. But it was hinted to us by the children's officer that this was just an assumption, that the moment the anti-FGM board team will be arriving in Migori County, and Kuria is a distance away from the administrative offices, that is the county government offices, and where it's hosting the county commissioner, it's quite many kilometers apart. The children's officer already was trying to inform us that there's a high possibility that is the moment maybe a directive will be given, or maybe we'll get security after the visit of the anti-FGM board through the county commissioner's office to this particular rescue house. So in terms of security, Jeremiah, and the rest of the listeners, I must tell you that we are not that quite certain, unless anything happens in the next few minutes. requests. That is when I'm informed that maybe the board has reached there, we can request that, because now our coordination particularly with the senior administrative officer has been quite poor. And what I can just say that the area we are hosting the girls, the school, the particular institution we are hosting the girls, temporarily hosting the girls who are fleeing away from their homes because of FGM, is particular. The area chief is really supportive. That one we must give a credit to Chief Fred, because he has been at the forefront. And particularly majorly the girls who are coming to this particular place are the girls crossing over from the other location, because the other location is muchly affected. That is Nyamusense area, going around through to the border, that is Nyametaburo area villages. So we must say, we can say that even the assistant chief is also so supportive. So we are just banking on that, and us and the stakeholders who have come there, that is activists who are visiting there and who have been visiting. So in terms of security, that's all I can say, and I can give no particular security that has been given to the premises and where the girls are.
You've been working with different stakeholders, and I'd assume that you've also reached out to the anti-FGM board. Is there a word from them?
Jeremiah, as you were reaching out to the anti-FGM board, when they were still, they had some meeting in Mombasa, so they were waiting to finish up and maybe send the officer here. The words we got from the anti-FGM board is that they'll be coming to Migori County, that is on Sunday today. And apart from that, they had already said that they had talked to the DCC. The DCC was refuting the Mabera DCC, who was first disputing FGM happening in his area, and then later on admitted, but again gave a different information that he had sent the police, and now the police could not maybe stop the procession or the parading of the girls, because the claims that they were heavily armed. That is the information the anti-FGM board was giving us through their officer. But I think majorly what we are waiting is that we're waiting the officer from the anti-FGM board to land, maybe reach in Kuria, so that we can have a conversation and also see on way forward. So that is as far as maybe working with stakeholders, that is what verbal discussion we've done, and we are looking forward maybe. Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Particularly now, Jeremiah, that's the stakeholders we are talking about here are activists and CBOs are listed. That is Safe Engage Foundation, Goseso. We had Zinduka the other side of Kuria East. We had also the children officer from Mabera, particularly, and also we had this Chief Fred, and also they had his assistant chief. And also we have Tunaweza Empowerment, and also Kuria West Network that is also working in the same area. So basically, there are activists and representatives of the mentioned CBOs, the community-based organizations.
All right, thank you very much, Vincent. Vincent is on the ground in Kuria. If you're just joining now, remember that we are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and as well as on Twitter. And also, of course, having this conversation on this Twitter space. Remember, the hashtag is Stop Kuria FGM now. And we are just also going to hear from other campaigners who are in Kuria. But as we go on around the same, there and as they join as well, they were outside in the field still trying to get some good network. Because they've been away trying to make things work during the day. I'd probably just go back to you, Vincent. You've mentioned that nothing really has been done. And so far, what I know about Kuria, and there has been a lot of dialogue, on the same, is the involvement of different stakeholders, and in this very specific case is elders. Has anyone spoken about this issue, especially from the steering committee from Migori County?
Jeremiah, thank you so much, and the rest of the listeners, and also the speakers. I can see Aisha and Collins. So I just want echo this again that there have been structured engagement with our Council of Elders from our community. From the past a few months that we had, and I want to particularly point out that we have UNICEF that has been working through ADRA Kenya in Kuria here to ensure that engagements are done with the elders, especially them being the custodians of the culture, the cultural elders. And particularly what I can say is that I've been part of the process when the four cultural elders of the four representatives. We have four clans in Kuria here, the Kurian community. So when the four clans the cultural elders from the four clans were being engaged, the process started from one clan to another. We had the delegation from the county government, that is county representative, and also particularly representative from the gender sector working group, the county anti-FGM steering committee that is being headed by the county commissioner, and also some few stakeholders. I was part to some point. I was part of the process for the engagement, where it started by engaging cultural elders from each and every clan separately. Thereafter, two clans were engaged together to just make consultation, to get to know about what they are speaking, what is their thought about abandonment of FGM. And then we also had the last one that all stakeholders came. The anti-FGM board was there. The UNICEF was there through ADRA. We had stakeholders like AMREF, and we had also the local campaigners like us. And particularly, I remember that I was given opportunity as well to also echo and put my voice before the elders as a young person and as a local campaigner from the community, and maybe to just talk to them. And that particular time, there was some requests that elders brought on board that they were supposed, the national and the county government was supposed to help them do, for them to fully denounce the practice out from our community. And if I can clearly remember from that particular request that they brought before the anti-FGM board, the Minister of Public Service Gender from the national government, the county government, stakeholders that were there. One, they were requesting some item to go to the mountain, to the hill, to ensure that they talk to the gods, to put forth their request of ending FGM. And that journey was supposed to take them 7 days to accomplish that journey. And there are some items that they needed. But yes, from that day, the government told them that we are going to look into that. Another demand was they wanted to meet the president. Those were key 3 items, demands that they brought, or maybe not demands, but requests that they were putting through the county government and the national government. And I remember majority, the CEO, the anti-FGM board was present with us. The chairman of anti-FGM board was also present with us. And also to speak of different stakeholders. So the response to the government or the administration, the officers who were there, were that we are taking your request and we'll get back to you. So as far as I'm concerned right now, to ensure that to facilitate them do the process, to go to the 7 days denouncement journey. And also the county government, I was informed that gave out around 1.5 million for the elders to do the same. So at this particular time, we are really disappointed to some extent, because this is the process that was ongoing, and this is a process instance that already even resources had been taken, had been given out for it to be a success. But again, on the other side, we are seeing the same elders who are commanding, who are giving direction, who are supposed to even give direction on when and how and at what time and when is the cutting supposed to be done. It's happening even as the process is ongoing on their end. So it's I want to say it's really disappointing and it's really traumatizing.
We lost you. Vincent. But one thing that I'm just wondering when you speak is the county commissioner, and we'll also talk about the steering committee, because I think that's a really important component in the ending of FGM within that specific region. We want to know the role of the office of the president, and I also believe that since last year, when the chiefs were actually laid off and actually they were brought back to office. What is now happening in such areas? Just good to know what definitely is happening in those specific areas, especially where the chiefs were fired last year. Let's just call it firing, because that's what happened. We are still waiting for other panelists. I see Christine is still trying to join. She says that her network is not very good. So she has to travel a little bit. That she's saying that the security of girls where she is coming from is at risk, and the government officers who are responsible in giving the protection are not responsive. But I'm happy with the area chief and one of the child protection officer who are really supportive. Ses, who is also going to be joining soon, still discussing the role of the county commissioner specifically in making sure that this does not happen, not now and not in future. Is there a conversation that you've had with the county commissioner specifically about ending FGM? And if not, have you made any efforts to reach any of his offices, basically? And I think, I'm sorry, Vincent, you're the only one who I can put on live right now. So, yeah, please, if you're able to answer that as well.
Thank you so much, Jeremiah. We recognize that the county commissioner at the moment, with the structure that is in place of eradication of FGM, he is the chair of county anti-FGM steering committee. And I guess we have, since the onset of this year, we had several engagements in terms of ensuring that we give out strategies and engagement towards putting activities that will end FGM. And I remember there's a time that I spoke with the previous county commissioner. You know, the one we are having is has joined the county lately. But the former county commissioner, at some point, we were having a very strong coordination with him, as me being part of the county anti-FGM steering committee. But again, we need to recognize that Migori County is really, really a unique county. FGM being happening in one section or maybe in one community. And I think in our previous engagement or maybe as a steering committee, it has been really, 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 I can remember when we were coming up with a county specific anti-FGM policy. It really brought issues because majority of the county steering committee are coming from, for example, you will get that majority of the county government of official holding key position who also add up when it comes to the formation of the steering committee are from from other ethnic community. So most of the people don't see the essence, maybe because this FGM has always been left for the Korean community people, that it is only as another part of Kuria community within the county that is practicing FGM, and that now add up to be a problem to that particular community. So that has been an issue, and it reaches a point whereby now we could not go forward with coming up with that particular specific county policy. But again, it was argued that all the issue of FGM will be put into the child protection policy that was also underway. So we had no choice.
I'll cut you short, Vincent. I'll cut you short on that one, because there are two things here. Yeah. So the county commissioner, he's been informed or not?
So the county commissioner, I remember particularly. Let me speak for myself.
Yeah.
I tried to reach the county commissioners phone call, which was not answered. But again, I did a WhatsApp message to the county commissioner, which I think particularly on my engagement with the county commissioner in previous times we've been discussing, and maybe when there's any issue, or maybe I have any particular comment I want to do with the county commissioner, I normally do it online, and he responds quickly. But this is a point whereby I sent after the phone call was not answered, I sent a text message which has not been answered, and a WhatsApp text message which has not been answered up to now. So particularly I want to say that maybe there is a way, maybe I'll not speak on that, and there is a way maybe of communication or any other thing at this particular time, because maybe, as I said earlier, from Kuria to where the offices of the county commissioners are quite a distance. It's kilometers far apart. So and at this particular time, we opt to do rescue and maybe coordinate things on the field rather than going to the office physically. So whatever can help us is our phones, is our other alternative ways of maybe reaching out to the county commissioner. But again, when we look at the members of the steering committee, most of them are echoing and saying that we as the part of the steering committee, it is only the Korean community that will take lead. We can back up from the other side of the fence. We cannot take lead of helping in ending FGM. While when we got there, we are being told that we are coming from the other community. So you get majority of them want Christine to lead, want me to lead, want Catherine to lead, and the rest of the team members who are in the steering committee, while forgetting, while assuming that if they come as the other community, not the Korean community, they'll be looked as the outsider. So I think that is the conversation, Jeremiah, that is bringing issue within the county, and even in this whole matter of ending FGM in Migori County. So those are such a few of dynamics. But for the county commissioner, that is so far that is what I can say. And maybe when they meet with the anti-FGM board officer from maybe who was coming to the county, that is maybe where we might get more clarification and maybe more information to speak about.
Wow. Thank you, Vincent. The county commissioner has definitely the powers to ask chiefs in their areas to make sure that there are no processions, as well as any coordination of cutting activities, and definitely is someone who would make a big impact in stopping this from happening. Thank you very much, Vincent.
Yeah, Mr. Jeremiah.
Yes.
I think the other question that I will have to Mr. Vincent is, while yes, you said it's not easy to get the county commissioner at the moment. Apart from the county commissioner, who else have you tried to reach, and what has been the response? Like maybe the nearest authorities that are accessible around your area. Vincent, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Sorry, I was on mute. Sorry. Yes. So, thank you so much, Orono. I just want to say that we've been trying as much as possible to get to administrative officers who can help us, the government officers who can help us. And as I said earlier, we have been trying to do communication maybe through the children's officer and maybe the chiefs who are on the especially the previous chief I talked about, that is Chief Fred, to maybe try sort of help. So particularly this time, it is I know this is a safe space as well, but again I must say that as reported earlier, this is a point whereby even the children's officer, the DCC is telling the children's officer that she is acting more of an activist rather than being a government officer. So in terms of communication, we've been doing a lot of communication and trying to push through the officers that are close to ensure that action is clearly taken. But this is another side of the coin whereby, Orono, we get that you make call to some other chief, they don't particularly pick, and this is also within this area where the administrative area we have a DCC, and a DCC from the other sub-county cannot speak for a DCC for the particular area. So I think it has been a problem because we get that especially the DCC of the affected area is not easy to find, is not easy to access. And the moment those our team members who have tried to access him, I think Christine has highlighted that the DCC has pointed out lack of resources maybe to move around and do the rescue and all that, as earlier as she had said earlier. Then you get on another level, on another side, Kuria East, you get that also SES was highlighting that in an issue of fuel about the vehicles to do the rescue or maybe to do the operation. So such things are the one that hampering communication and maybe reaching out to the officers, because they're in administrative, there is also protocols to follow while making communication. So I want to say that as much as on the ground, we're also trying, and as we are trying, we are also working. We are also trying to do rescue. You can imagine, we have phones. We don't have even backups. We don't have even means of transportation. We are using motorbikes in the villages, deep in the villages, even the roads that are impassable. So that is the situation where we are, and that is that is the reason why we are calling upon all of us to join and help us in maybe if the high authority or maybe the high administrative authority can help us, you can help us do communication so that you can see some quick response in regards to maybe communication. But Orono, in terms of reaching out to government officers, we are trying as much as we can, though they have been slow and to some extent at all response from them. Yes. And on another side, again, we are looking at this a particular moment that is unique, and we are seeing politicians coming from the area, from the local, are quiet. Even some of our team members are telling us, even some groups that they are created for campaigns, they are no longer saying anything in those particular groups. They are no longer talking. This is something that also makes us to worry. Politicians are silent. The elite, like we have Kuria Professional Association, we have not heard their voice since the onset of the cutting that is on Monday and on 13th. We have not heard a single talking about this issue. So I think that is the point we are, and that is where we are as of now. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. We're still having other speakers who will be joining us in a moment, and I just want to remind you that you can go ahead, hit that blue button below this chat, and tweet this conversation and invite other people to join, because we want to call all the actors to action wherever they are today. So the anti-FGM board, AFGM board is their Twitter handle. Just tag them, and we will be able to mobilize enough information as well as coordination to make sure that these girls are going to be safe. A quick update for those who just joined in. is that little cutting happened today, but it's expected to go higher tomorrow. Other regions as well are doing campaigns, like in West Pokot. I see Domtila just joined and had requested to become a speaker. So Domtila, as we wait for other speakers from Kuria to join, if you could just give a quick update of how it looks like in West Pokot.
Okay, thank you, Jeremiah. So, Vincent, I really want to thank you. Thank you for all the work that you've done with your team, obviously. I just want to really give some little advice to Vincent and the team from Kuria that during this time, guys, you need to be, first of all, you need to be very safe. That is a priority issue, as much as we are putting the girls' issues first, but your safety is of more importance. So, because if you're not safe, then you'll not be able to save any girl. So, I don't know whether, Vincent, you've been able to speak to maybe the county commander, the police commander, because last year in West Pokot County, we had a similar scenario where hundreds of girls were cut. And I was in the same position as you are right now. I was in the same situation where I was trying to link up with different officers and trying to call people for help. So, and I think also for Kipainoi, we need to escalate this issue from Twitter to go directly to the people who are supposed to be protecting these girls. For example, we can take it upon ourselves to even call the county commissioner. We can call the police commander, because I don't understand how Vincent and the team are going to the villages using motorbikes, yet we have the county departments, the county commissioner, they have vehicles, the police, they have vehicles. This is supposed to be a joint operation, not just like an activist responsibility. We did the same last year in West Pokot, and I remember I was working very closely with the county commissioner. I think maybe we were lucky because we have a very supportive county commissioner, and I was calling the county commissioner late at night. It's very frustrating, Vincent. I understand it can be very frustrating. Don't give up. Keep calling them, because when you call them and you text them, they don't respond. At least later on, you'll be able to say, I called you, I texted you, you never responded. So keep pushing. Call those people. Leave them text messages. Tell them these village girls are going to be cut. Because if they don't act, we are going to hold them responsible. We're going to hold them accountable. So try to call even the assistant county commissioners. If you can't get hold of the DCC, and I'm really very disappointed to hear that the DCC is saying they have no resources. So where is the resources if they don't have resources to be able to rescue girls? So try to get hold of the assistant county commissioner, because this one are more closer to the ground than even the DCC. So, and I think it's also very unfortunate that Kuria is in a county where you guys are being marginalized, but still this is not the moment to lament or to complain. That is the situation that we are in right now. So I don't know, Jeremiah, what plans you have going forward, because now tomorrow is Monday and everybody's going to be in the office. All these guys we are speaking for are going to be in the offices tomorrow. What intention do we have, or what plans do we have to get hold of these the county commissioner, the deputy county commissioner, the assistant county commissioner, and more so the police commander or the OCS from that area? So I don't know whether you are able, Vincent, to go even to the police station near that village and even ask for security. Because we did rescue operations working with the police. We went with the police vehicles and we were going to disrupt ceremonies that were taking place. So please don't feel frustrated until you want to give up. Keep on pushing those guys. Push them, call them, leave them text messages, and if they don't respond, you can, reach out to other people whom you think maybe can be influential. Then, Kipainoi, even as we're having this Twitter chat, is there a way we can even invite the anti-FGM board? Because last time we also used the anti-FGM board to reach to other government officers, because I know that they're the ones who are mandated to be able to oversee such cases in the county. So can we just have like a direct link with the anti-FGM board, so that even as we're having this conversation, those guys are here present with us, so that they can give us like the way forward, because we cannot sit back and wait for girls to be cut tomorrow. I don't think that's something we want to do as activists. We've done so much on the ground, and we cannot just like watch people saying they don't have resources, they don't have vehicles. They have the vehicles. They need to be 24 hours surveillance. So yeah, that's my take.
Thanks a lot, Domtila. I think that's a really good observation. from the anti-FGM board. I've been also scouting their social media channels, and no response from the anti-FGM board so far in terms of acknowledgement of the ongoing situation in Kuria. But we've also had other stakeholders joining and speaking about it. For example, we have the country director for UNFPA, Dr. Ademola Olajide, who says the corn is not choked by the weeds but the negligence of the farmer. We are failing in our sacred duty to protect these girls. Farm action must be taken against duty bearers who disregard a presidential directive to end FGM. So, and also tagged UNFPA Kenya, who have been very instrumental in doing and facilitating lots of activities on the ground. So I think some of those things would better be answered by the activists on the ground who've been reporting that the anti-FGM board is also going there on the ground, and they just tell us what the situation looks like. And I just see that Ses joined. If you can hear me, Ses, a very quick update about what's happening on your end. I know that you have a rescue center going on. What's happening?
Hi, Jeremiah. Hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. So my name is Ses. I work with Zinduka. So currently, Jeremiah, what we are trying to do is we are trying to place girls at risk, especially from Motemorabu, into a safe space. We've received overwhelming requests. Currently, we have a project that has been running from October. And what we did, we had tried to mobilize some girls to just try and prepare, because we had also anticipated, because of the way the FGM trend is changing, we had anticipated they might start cutting early. So we had started preparing from October around the first school holiday towards the end of the year. So we had already mobilized 150 girls from the areas that we had considered that might pose a risk. So those are the girls that we are actually currently working with. So from Motemerabu, we've been able to get around 50 girls that cannot stay at home because they don't find themselves to be very safe. And then today also, we received extra requests. Actually, the number of girls that need the safe space are more that are in the project. And the current funding we have is only for 150 girls. But today we also had to take in girls that are not within that project. So we still haven't seen any government officials, apart from the children officer from Mabera, Janet, who has been on ground with us. We've not received any other government support. Also, in terms of NGOs working around Mabera, around those risk areas, we've not seen any that have come out so far. So we are there as Zinduka. We're trying to do as much as we can. The situation is not good. Today they didn't cut. So they just started, last week they started, this week they started kidogo, like 1 girl, 2 girls per group and all that. But we've seen that the number of girls per group as they get more confident and comfortable about the cut, it keeps on increasing. So we're anticipating that tomorrow it might actually be a bit worse than it had been this week, because schools have also started closing, and the girls are free to do as they will. So most of these parents are also not monitoring where their girls are. Like we tried to initiate a rescue one night, only to go to that particular home at 9 p.m., around 9:30, and the girl was not in the house. And we were wondering if the mother is actually aware where that girl is, but she could not respond. She could not say where her daughter was. So Jeremiah, in a nutshell, I can say it's not good. But unless something is done, today we were safe because it's on a Sunday. We didn't see any cutting, but tomorrow I think it's gonna accelerate. So that's why we are just trying to be cautious. For us, what we've done is that there's no girl right now we are considering safe as of now, because we've seen also from our project girls that we thought were safe, girls that we thought had no pressure, external or internal, cut. So for us, we're not, any girl we can be able to save that has not been cut, we are taking her in. Because I think we are past the safe girls and the not safe girls zone. All girls that are not cut in Kuria right now are at risk. So I think it's just all of us to just mobilize resources, come together, people who can be able to give us safe spaces, because these girls are more than we can also currently hold in the particular areas we have. Like right now for us, we are at Sakuri Secondary School. The maximum capacity the school can hold is 150 girls. and soon in the next 2 weeks we're going to be full. So I'm scared for the girls that might not be able to fit there. So I think I'm calling upon other institutions like schools, churches, if they can also offer those spaces for us, because getting funding is one thing, but also getting those safe spaces where there are spaces that are near security, also close to the road, is also another risk. Is also another challenge.
Very quick one says, security situation for the girls in the schools. How does it look like? And have you reached out to any security organs to make sure that the girls are safe when they are in those safe spaces?
Yes. We work closely with Kegonga Police Station. We have contacts of the police. Also, the children officer and the OCS at Mabera are aware that the girls are there, but we closely work with the Kegonga Police Station. So in terms of security, we don't see any potential threat as of now, so we're just hoping it remains the same. But we are in very close contact with the Kegonga Police Station.
We've had a lot of conversation with Vincent, just talking about the involvement of different stakeholders, including the anti-FGM board, as well as government, basically police, the police from the county commissioner going down. Have you had any conversations with the other security agencies apart from the police station that's next to your center?
Okay. I would say right now we've been in so much talk with the children officer and the OCS for Mabera County, and also at some point the BCC. So far we've actually been having conversations with those three offices because they were the people we deemed that we needed urgently. So for us, I can say that the children officer, the DCC, and also the OCS for Mabera, those have actually been the people that we've been in constant communication with.
Thank you, Ses. Anything you'd like to add before we would just, and after Ses speaks, if you have a very specific question you'd like to ask, click one of those buttons below there and you'll be able to ask a question, or just raise your hand up, then we'll be able to, I'll allow you to speak. But for you, Ses, what needs to be done next?
Okay. Right now, I would say, when I start reporting about the cut in Motemorabu, I remember even inviting guys that are other activists that are actually can be able to come and join us on ground, because also going around as a small team has been posing a risk for us. So I remember I also invited other people to join in. But so far, I think that was some around Wednesday. So far, I've not seen anyone reach out to us. So I think as much as we're also making noise on social media, I would also urge my fellow activists, let's also be on ground. Let's also unite on ground and not just on social media and tweeting and all that. We need a mass out there, because one, already we've raised the alarm. So the community knows that there are people that are monitoring and watching them. So also going around to pick these girls is going to pose a risk for us in the next few days. So as much as we're also on social media and in the media and all the other spaces out there, I would also love to see more activists on the ground, because that is missing as of now. Like in Motemorabu, it's just Zinduka, to be honest. At some point, I even asked Janet if there are other organizations, NGOs that work within Mabera, because I've not seen them, to be honest. And Motemorabu has been the most affected area in Mabera right now. So also, let's join hands, even on the ground, and not just on social media.
I see Billy raising his hand up. I just request, as I make you a speaker, to make it very brief, make it very positive, as well as constructive by the end of the day. So over to you, Billy. Very quickly, briefly, make it constructive. Over to you, Billy.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity given to me. I appreciate this. I agree with you. I like how you brought up your points. There is a question I wanted to ask Ses, who is in the ground. I know Kuria, I know Kegonga very well. Right now I'm in West Pokot. I wanted to ask, what is the situation in Kuria East? As much as I'm concerned, I feel what is going on is like we have much FGM going on in Kuria West as compared to Kuria East. The other thing I wanted to say that I want to appreciate Zinduka. Zinduka has been standing with these girls during these hard times, where that I remember sometimes they had a safe space at Komotobo, now it's at Sakuri. Sakuri, I think, is towards Maeta. The last thing I want to ask Muita and the team in the ground, what are they doing about the circumcisers? In West Pokot, we call them Melkong. What are we doing about them? Because now we are focused on girls. If the interior and the police can coordinate and they can we can use them well, we can find a way in which we trace around one or two. Then I think if we brought one or two, if two are arrested or one, I think that will send an alarm to the rest and at least the cut will go down. That's my point. Thank you very much.
Okay, Billy, to respond to your question, first of all, thank you for acknowledging also our work as Zinduka. We appreciate. To respond to the question on how Kuria is as of now, we're anticipating that also Ntimaru might begin cutting, but so far it's calm. But we're also on the lookout because the project girls that we had mobilized also include girls from Ntimaru. But so far, the areas of Ntimaru and Masaba, we also have girls who are in the project from Masaba. So we've also been assessing those two areas. And as of now, it's a bit calm. So we don't know if they're waiting to see, we don't know if we were waiting for schools to close fully or they were waiting to see which area starts first. But as of now, those two areas, we've not received any alarm calls, and we're hoping it remains that way. But in case we do receive alarm calls, I think we are also prepared because we have contact people in those in Timaru and also in Masaba who are also monitoring the girls at school. In case a girl is not able to report at school, we will also urge them to follow up and find out why the girl did not come to school until the schools close. So when the schools closed, we had already set the space at Sakuri. We were anticipating the schools would close maybe on a 23rd, and then we would give them a break of like one day, so that they can report to their parents and the parents can be able to see their kids and know they're okay. And then maybe have Christmas, and we were supposed to pick them on the 25th, on the 26th. So we didn't want to give them too much time at home. But now, unfortunately, schools have closed earlier. So that's why we've even had to pre-plan. And now we are not pre-plan, as in go back to the drawing board and put the camp also a bit 1 week earlier. So the situation is currently calm, but we are on the lookout.
Okay, thank you very much for that clarification. I appreciate so much. In fact, in Timaru, I know the hotspots are again Itambe and towards Wagirabose, and the extreme end past Timaru center. So I appreciate your work. I think you can, if you can liaise with the police, you can increase the surveillance in those areas if it has not become too much and overwhelming. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Billy.
There's a question you also asked Vincent, if you could quickly answer that.
Yes, Vincent, did you hear my question?
Not really. You can repeat the question, please.
Okay, I asked about what are you doing on circumcisers? Because I hear it is about girls, and we realize that circumcised there are only 2 or 3 people who are making this issue to become worse. If we can liaise with the police and the relevant authorities and maybe arrest 1 or 2 if we have a clue where they are, this I think can slow down the process. Can slow down the cut which is happening in Kuria. So my question is, what are you doing as far as circumciser is concerned? Now that girls are being taken to the rescue center, what about these circumcisers?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. And I want to say that as far as community response and us as activists are concerned, there have been arrests of circumcisers, and we also have one circumciser who was arrested, and after coming out of after finishing up after serving her time after the arrest, I want to say that I don't know what happened, and it came out that again she was doing the cut more than even how we could expect. But again, I think our role as activists, as CSOs, is just to do more of sensitization and give information to the government, and also particularly to the police and also the relevant institution, to do the prosecution, the arrest, the prosecution, and all what have you. But historically, we've seen quite a number of, we've seen few circumcised are being arrested and being released because of the political games, maybe some political games. We've seen them, like that particular one that I've talked about, serving her tenure after being jailed, and then later on also coming back and still doing the same thing. So particularly, I would like to say that we can still we can continue to task the law enforcers to do the arrest, the circumciser, because they are known in the community. But particularly again, you get that I don't know how such cases go uncaught free because of issues to do with evidence, issues to do with all these things and all that at that particular time. So on the side of circumcisers, I cannot just speak much of it. I can just say that that is task for the police to do the arrest and all that. Our role is just to highlight and say it is happening, like what we are doing right now, as Cesc had already highlighted. That this is happening somewhere. That is what we can just help the police and the government to give information so that the information can acted upon. But as all of us have spoken here, Cesc and Christine, I must say that even as much as we are reporting these cases, that we can clearly see the manner in which the response is being done is really slow, and to some point I'd already said that no action is being taken. So on the side on the sides of arrest and on the side of circumcisers, I can say that quite a number of them are known. We have been various many activists and also particularly community members have hinted this, but we see action to some extent. Even some action has not taken. Maybe the circumcised is going to the police. The process started, the prosecution process starts, and at some point they say there's no evidence and all that. So we are up there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Back to the host.
Thanks a lot. I see that Christine is back now. If you're able to speak, I see that Christine is back. If you're able to speak, Christine.
I'm happy to be back. Just coming home from the rescue. So specifically about the rescue. I'd say that we're back. Actually, to work together as stakeholders, as Seth has really mentioned. But my real concern already that need rescue. But as for us as social workers and activists, we can go into part of doing the rescue missions from the homes, but you can only from the girls we are meeting and them talking to us about the situation. But the point of rescuing girls from their home actually rely on the law enforcement, of which we are really getting few of them responding and
We are sorry, Christine, we can hardly hear you. You're breaking a lot.
Well, it's looking, but network is good now.
All right, try keep going. We can hardly hear you.
So, we can say that we need to talk to the parents or to talk to the girls, but what we really need to do is get support from law enforcers. And the update I'm having right now is the anti-FGM board is around and probably going to meet most of us from tomorrow. And they're hoping to meet also the county commissioner and so that is the update I have for now.
All right, thank you very much, Christine. I think we should bring this to a close right now. And just we'll keep having these conversations tomorrow and the days that come. I had requested anyone that has anything to say to put their hands up. Tomorrow will be a day where the anti-FGM board will definitely be on the ground, and the campaigners will brief us on what exactly is happening, either in the centers where they are holding the girls, as well as where the girls are still being cut in the villages, what the progress is with the government, with the chiefs, with the county commissioner, the DCCs, what the police stations in different areas look like, and in terms of arrests, are there any other arrests? Because sometimes it's really painful to really talk about rescuing the girls without really dealing with the people who are cutting these girls. Is it the parents? Is it the cutters who are perpetrating? It's the girls. They have the right to stay at home at this time, and it's Christmas. Should not be a time where girls are mutilated, but should be holiday where they should be resting. So without further ado, if there is no one else who would like to say something, I'd like to bring this to a close, and we'll still keep in touch on our WhatsApp group, and also broadcast one of these conversations again tomorrow and the following days till the girls are safe. So I'd like to say goodbye and thank you very much for joining today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye everyone, and keep praying for us, keep giving us support, and as we do the rescue overnight. Thank you so much.
Asante sana Vincent.